Speech, they say, is silver, silence is golden. Strangely enough, while we have to make an effort at vocal cords and sometimes strain our throat and lungs as well to make a speech, being silent requires absolutely no physical exertion and conveys much more substance than long and loud sermons, lectures, or diatribes. Yet, ironically enough, most of us are more prone to loud speaking than remaining silent. Some of us love to speak even when there is no need, and there is also a risk of facing shame and embarrassment. Some people even speak when they have to say nothing and are consequently physically forced to shut up. Nonetheless, for most of us, silence is harder to observe despite the fact that saying nothing says the most. The astounding power of silence can hardly be overstated. Most God-men and spiritual gurus, messengers of God, receive divine messages from the higher powers only through a medium of immaculate silence. Silence is the best language of intense communication. It is kind of heart-to-heart or soul-to-soul dialogue without using mundane words. Silence takes over when the words end. In fact, silence delivers messages which cannot be adequately expressed in the best languages in the world. Even a moment of silence can communicate your intentions or reactions more effectively than 1,000 words spoken without end. The issue may be between sworn enemies or friends. During conflict resolution, silence is not just the absence of words. It's a powerful tool that can convey meaning, emotion, and intention. Silence can also create space for reflection, listening, and empathy, which are essential for resolving conflicts. The deepest feelings can best communicate themselves in silence. The peak moments of love and hatred defy words. Intense emotions and feelings of gratitude, relief, and happiness, or even negative feelings such as disgust, revenge, displeasure can be more powerfully and effectively conveyed through silence than any number of words in any language. Given below are the views of some of the top thinkers on the importance of silence. Silence speaks so much louder than screaming tantrums. Never give anyone an excuse to say that you're crazy Taylor Swift. Nothing strengthens authority so much as silence. Leonardo da Vinci. Silence is the ultimate weapon of power. Charles de Gaulle. A fool is known by his speech, and a wise man by silence. Pythagoras. There is an anecdote of a child who found a watch lost in a waste stack in barn. When asked how he was able to find it, the little boy replied, "I sat there without making a noise, and the barn was so silent. After a few minutes, I heard the tick-tick sound and found the watch." Here is a short story to illustrate the power of silence. Once upon a time, there was a young monk who was always joking and having fun, but whose mind was not focused on spiritual cultivation. An old monk saw all this, but was in no hurry to criticize him. One night, the young monk couldn't control his desire to have fun, so he wanted to sneak out of the temple. However, the temple gates were locked. So he carried a stool over to the wall, climbed on it, and jumped over to the other side. Later, the old monk made a tour of the temple courtyard and saw the stool near the wall. He immediately understood what had happened. He decided to wait for the junior monk to teach him a lesson. The young monk had a surprise when he got back. At one point, the old man heard someone jumping on the other side of the wall, so he moved the stool and crouched close to the wall instead, holding his knees under his beard with both arms. The young monk thought that the shadow, that is to say the senior monk, was the stool he had left behind. He jumped down and felt that he had landed on something soft, so he was startled. He saw that it was the old monk, so he quickly ran to his room. He threw himself on the bed, waiting for the old man to come, so he could not sleep all night. The lesson. On the morning that followed, the junior monk was restless thinking about the punishment that awaited him. The old monk had a very solemn expression but did not open the discussion. A few days passed, and the senior monk saw that the young monk was no longer as undisciplined as before, but was instead studying seriously the spiritual teachings. Since then the young monk has persevered, cultivated with great determination, and reached high levels through his spiritual cultivation. Sometimes silence is more effective than punishment. We also have a legend about Buddha's silence. When Buddha got enlightened on that full moon day in the month of May, it is said that he maintained silence for the whole week. He did not say a word. Mythology says that all the angels in the heaven were frightened. They knew that it was only once in a millennium that someone blossoms like Buddha. Now he was silent. The angels then requested him to say something. He said, "Those who know, they know even without me saying it, and those who do not know, will not know even if I say it." Any description of light to a blind man is of no use. There is no point in talking to those who have not tasted the ambrosia of life, and therefore I am silent. How can you convey something so intimate and personal? Words cannot convey it. And, as many scriptures in the past have revealed, words end where truth begins. I hope you have liked the video and would like to ponder over the power of silence and practice it in your day-to-day routine. Thanks for your patience. Please support me by subscribing to my channel. Thanks once again.